Greetings, Christ the King family, and welcome to our Monday devotion. Recently, we changed some of the words in our prayers of the people at first service. For those of you that don't go to the 9 o'clock traditional service, we do something called intercessory prayers or prayers of the people. And those have a chunk that is read by the worship assistant, and then the congregation will respond to each set of prayers. And since I had been here, we had been saying, Lord, in your mercy, and the congregation would respond with, hear our prayer. And for the summer, we changed the words to God, in your mercy, receive our prayer. And I said I would make a devotion explaining a little bit more about that. Now, eventually we'll go back to the words that we had used before. Maybe we'll change them again to something different. There are all kinds of ways to end the prayers of the people, and sometimes it's good to change things up so that we pay attention in a new way, right? It doesn't become rote. One thing with changing God to Lord or Lord to God, that may seem like a really um, minuscule change, and it is in a lot of ways. There's lots of describing words for God, right? We can use all kinds of words to describe God. Lord is a pretty archaic word for our culture in our time. We don't live in a culture that has a monarchy or a lordship system, and so that's not necessarily something that fits in with what we know. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not worth using. Obviously, we use it for all other kinds of things all the time. Also, um, it's a masculine term, right? We know God is beyond gender. God is greater than gender. So changing to God just gives us that sort of neutral starting point again. That above all else, God is God. God is the great I am, right? And here to receive, hear our prayer, receive our prayer. This gets into like a little bit more of the theological um, idea of how is God present with us, right? Hear our prayer may imply to some that God is not listening and we have to ask God to listen, right? Um, I don't think that's true. Um, this was actually a change that was made when the new updated hymnals came out. Um, and receive our prayer has a different connotation, right? If I'm asking you to hear me, then I need you to listen. I need you to show me that you're listening to me. If I'm asking you to receive what I'm giving you, that's a different thing, right? And so we're asking God to receive our prayers, not to, hey God, turn around, listen. So those are the two things that we've sort of made little changes to. It's again for a season as are most things. And I hope if you have any other questions, you'll let me know. But otherwise, have a great week, everyone. Bye.